My name is Alexandra Mitchell, but everyone calls me Alex. At 38, I became one of the few female four-star generals in American military history. Today, I stood outside my brother James's promotion ceremony in my full dress uniform, adorned with every medal earned through blood and sacrifice. The irony wasn't lost on me, being the highest-ranking officer in my family, yet somehow not on the guest list. 20 years of service, 4 stars, 2 combat tours, and I couldn't get past the registration table. Before I continue, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing your ground when others try to erase you. Growing up in a military household in Virginia shaped James and me from our earliest days. Our father, Colonel William Mitchell, ran our home with the precision of his units. Mornings began with inspections, beds made with hospital corners, shoes polished to a mirror shine, rooms organized with military efficiency. Some might call it harsh, but it instilled discipline, attention to detail, and unwavering commitment. James and I, 3 years apart, were companions, climbing trees, building forts, and defending each other from bullies. Our favorite game, Soldiers, involved rescuing stuffed animals from imaginary enemies. Even then, I showed tactical thinking, designing diversions, while James executed with precision. "You two will make fine officers," our father said with rare approval, planting seeds for our shared dream of military service. At 18, I joined the Air Force after high school. James, 15, watched with pride and envy as I left for basic training, his face a mix of admiration and a subtle competitive spark that would later define our relationship. My rise through the ranks surprised even me. What started as a way to pay for college became my calling. I discovered natural leadership and strategic thinking. My commanding officers noticed, recommending advanced training and accelerated promotions. By 25, I was a captain with a deployment under my belt. 3 years later, James joined the Army. We supported each other, exchanging letters and calls, sharing advice, celebrating achievements, and understanding the unique challenges of service. Strain emerged when I became a major at 30. James, still a captain, showed a tight smile during my visit to Fort Bragg. "Congratulations, Major Mitchell," he said, raising a beer. "You'll catch up," I assured him, missing the resentment in his eyes. "Sure," he replied. "You've always been one step ahead." Our mother's death from cancer 5 years later briefly bridged the gap. At her funeral, James held my hand as I gave the eulogy. We stayed up until dawn, sharing memories. "She was so proud of you, Alex," he said. "She is proud of both of us," I corrected, noting her scrapbook of his deployments. The moment of connection faded, replaced by competitive tension. By then, I had earned 2 Bronze Stars, a Purple Heart from a helicopter crash in Afghanistan, and recognition for strategic initiatives saving lives. My cybersecurity and counterintelligence expertise opened doors historically closed to women. At 34, my promotion to Brigadier General, one of the youngest, made headlines. I called James, but his brief congratulations and mention of his own lieutenant colonel promotion hinted at growing distance. My 4-star general promotion at 38, making me the 4th woman to achieve it, was a national event attended by the Joint Chiefs and dignitaries. James sent an email citing operational commitments. I accepted it, blind to the pattern forming. Convinced our bond would prevail, I read James's colonel promotion email while reviewing security protocols. I smiled, proud of my brother, and called him. "Colonel James Mitchell, congratulations." "Thanks, Alex," he said, pleased but measured. "When's the ceremony?" I asked. 3 weeks. "Fort Beaver Auditorium," he replied. "I'll be there," I promised, rearranging my schedule, 3 briefings, a delegation meeting, a security conference, all to support him. "You don't have to," he said, his tone dismissive. I brushed it off as stress. Nothing will keep me away, I insisted. I prepared meticulously, my dress uniform pressed, medals polished by my aide, Lieutenant Samantha Rogers. You'll outshine him, she joked. It's his day, I replied. Memories of past ceremonies surfaced, James giving me a compass at my captain promotion, me gifting him our grandfather's fountain pen at his major promotion. These traditions symbolized our family's legacy. I chose a shadow box for his medals, engraved, Colonel James Mitchell, continuing the legacy of honor. The night before, my father called. Alexandra, I'm concerned about you and James, he said. He's changed since your last promotion. We're adults, Dad, I replied. This is a celebration. Prepare for anything, he warned. I dismissed it, confident in our bond. That night, on my balcony overlooking the PTOAC, I reflected on our journey from backyard soldiers to officers, optimistic for a family reunion. Morning brought perfect spring weather. I dressed with precision, for stars gleaming. The drive to Fort Beaver was vibrant with greenery. Officers saluted as I parked, a lieutenant praising James's leadership. The auditorium bustled with flags, photographers, and a string quartet. At the registration table, I said, General Alexandra Mitchell checking in. The lieutenant checked her tablet, confused. I'm not seeing your name, ma'am. Check again, I said calmly. I'm Colonel Mitchell's sister. She confirmed my absence from all lists. A cold sensation hit, but I stayed composed. Check with the coordinator, I requested. Through the auditorium doors, I saw James with senior officers. Our eyes met. He turned away, confirming this was no mistake. Major Peterson, the coordinator, apologized. Your name isn't on any list. A childhood memory flashed, James excluding me from a baseball game, saying, you always get picked. Now, 30 years later, the pattern repeated publicly. Security approached, hesitant. Contact Colonel Mitchell, one asked. I saw James ignoring me. No, I said, stepping aside. Proceed with the ceremony. In a garden alcove, the gift box felt heavy. I called General Eleanor Reynolds, my academy friend. This is a slight to a superior officer, she said. What would you tell a junior officer? Respect is earned. Dignity doesn't accept disrespect. Leadership requires hard stands, I replied. And not walking away, I told her. My resolve hardened. This was about principles defining my career. I drove to a coffee shop, calling Lieutenant Rogers for my ceremonial uniform, General Marcus Williams to inform him, and the base commander for access. Rogers arrived with my regalia, medals, ribbons, for stars. I changed, my reflection showing a story of service, not vanity. The stars symbolized trust earned through integrity and courage. Back at Fort Beaver, guards saluted. The base commander ensured access. My ceremonial uniform, Distinguished Service Medal, Silver Star, Purple Heart, commanded respect. I timed my entrance post-promotion during the speech transition. Slipping in, I caused a ripple, heads turned, whispers spread. James faltered at the podium, our eyes meeting. I sat front row, composed. He resumed, his speech rigid, subtly jabbing my reforms. General Williams invited me to speak. General Alexandra Mitchell, would you say a few words? At the podium, I said, it's my privilege to witness Colonel Mitchell's promotion. Our father instilled integrity, excellence, commitment. Military strength lies in tradition and evolution. True leadership respects both. Colonel Mitchell will serve with distinction. The applause was enthusiastic. The room's dynamic shifted. At the reception, officers approached, some discussing my cybersecurity work. James avoided me, but our father insisted we talk. In a conference room, James admitted bitterness. "I'm always General Mitchell's brother." "Your record speaks for itself," I said. Excluding me breached protocol. He blamed General Harrington's aide, influenced by resistance to my reforms. "If I were any other general, would it be appropriate?" I asked. He faltered. "Merit is integrity in all circumstances." A lieutenant interrupted for photos. James admitted, "You deserve better, as my sister and a general." It wasn't a full apology, but a start. At the reception, officers gravitated to me. Harrington's influence was waning. A week later, James's letter expressed regret, requesting a meeting. At our father's dinner, we navigated neutral topics, James mentioning a transfer to Fort Lewis, away from Harrington's influence. At a cafe meeting, he acknowledged my challenges as a female general, admitting he'd been a tool in others' resistance. We set boundaries as siblings and officers. Months later at General Williams's retirement, we interacted respectfully, James publicly aligning with my principles. At West Point's Women's Military Leadership Conference, I spoke on integrity and courage. James attended unexpectedly. A photographer captured us together, the Mitchell siblings. Officers standing for shared values. The journey taught me leadership isn't about stars, but principles, standing firm, balancing assertiveness with dignity. I ask you, when have you stood your ground against disrespect? Share in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to join resilient leaders who know victories come from staying true to yourself. Your worth is defined by your integrity, not others. Recognition.